From the bike in your garage to the car in your driveway, chances are these items crossed an ocean on a ship. And that ship was likely made in China. The world's largest shipbuilding nation, China, now produces over half of all ships under construction globally. China's dominance in shipbuilding is staggering. Around 34% of all ships currently on water were made in China. Even more impressive, about 57% of ships currently under construction are in Chinese shipyards. This represents a massive shift from just 2 decades ago, when China produced less than 5% of the world's ships. But China's control extends beyond just building ships. They dominate the wider maritime ecosystem, producing 95% of shipping containers. A single Chinese shipyard now outproduces all American shipyards combined. How did China achieve this maritime manufacturing supremacy? The story begins in the early 2000s when China joined the World Trade Organization. This move, coupled with the country's growing economy, generated significant demand for ships. Beijing's strategic vision, outlined in its 10th five-year plan, focused on developing China's ports and shipbuilding industry. China's success in shipbuilding stems from several factors. They already excelled at heavy manufacturing, particularly steel production. Their export-oriented economy created natural demand. Additionally, China's large, skilled, yet relatively inexpensive workforce provided the necessary labor. Government support for shipbuilding as a strategic sector further fueled growth. Meanwhile, the United States, once a shipbuilding powerhouse, saw its industry decline dramatically after World War II. By the 1970s, Japan had taken the lead, followed by South Korea in the 80s, and finally China in the 2000s. Today, the US builds a mere fraction of the world's commercial ships, with manufacturing accounting for only 8% of total employment. The cost difference between Chinese and American-built ships is stark. A China-built container ship costs around $55 million, while a comparable US-built ship is estimated at $330 million. This price disparity explains why between 2020 and 2022, China had over 4,000 large ocean-going ships on order, while the US had just 12. Reviving the US shipbuilding industry faces significant challenges. Shipbuilding is both capital and labor-intensive, requiring extensive infrastructure and support systems. To compete, the US would likely need to provide substantial subsidies, similar to the $132 billion China invested between 2010 and 2018. Some argue for the need to resurrect American shipbuilding, citing national security concerns and the desire to reduce dependence on Chinese-built vessels. Proposals include imposing hefty fees on Chinese-built, owned, and operated ships docking in U.S. ports. However, such measures could have far-reaching consequences. They might drive up costs of goods, increase freight rates and inflation, and potentially divert trade away from U.S. hubs. The ripple effects could reshape supply chains, leading to more road and rail transport between ports instead of sea routes. The push for U.S. shipbuilding dominance isn't just about profits. It's intertwined with broader geopolitical strategies and security concerns. The debate centers on whether the United States can afford to be dependent on Chinese-built ships for its maritime needs. Realistically, a complete restoration of U.S. shipbuilding to its former glory seems unlikely. The dominance of China, Japan, and South Korea in this industry is firmly established. Instead, a more nuanced approach might involve identifying specific areas within the shipbuilding supply chain where U.S. manufacturers could effectively compete. As this maritime manufacturing saga unfolds, it serves as a microcosm of larger geopolitical shifts and trade tensions. The future of global shipbuilding will likely be shaped not just by economic factors, but by strategic considerations and the evolving balance of power on the world stage.